Hey everyone, let's go over the EU FNCS Day 1. I have game-by-game analysis of what happened and the storylines that were going on. So make sure you stick around right to the end. Now in terms of EU FNCS, this was the most exciting Day 1 of EU FNCS I've ever watched, and I'm not even exaggerating. We had one of the best teams in the region, the reigning champions Vico, Veno and Flixi, without a drop the entire day. They were dropping around the map like Teeny used to. And we also had some of the worst zone RNG I've ever seen for these South teams, with 6 out of 6 zones pulling above Seaport on the EU region. This is not just on EU, as on OCE we also had 3 out of 6 games where it pulled to Dojo. So it is looking bad for NA later. On game 1 on EU we had Vico, Veno and Flixi landing Outlaw Oasis, not the Masked Meadows that they conned on the drop map. They easily wiped the 2 teams that were fighting there, Ziandy's team and Janice's teams. Savage, Vidil and Reason also went 1-0 against Noms' team at the start, which is wonderful news. We needed Savage to have a good start to this tournament, and he certainly did that with a 1-0 win off spawn. Camiseti and Kari were first on the high ground in this game. They land Uncon brutal box carts. Then Queasy, Swizzy and Mustache took height on the 11th zone and won the game from Uncon Seaport City. In game 2 we had Vico, Veno and Flixi land the split below Whiffy Waff, and that went terribly. They keyed Zangi, Zara and Humble Peterball and killed them, but then ended up going down early. Savage, Vidil and Reason had a similar performance, winning off their off-spawn fight, and now they're 2-0 up. Super good. The more the times they win, the more likely it is the other team are going to dip off and land somewhere else. Vanyak, Pixie and Marius won game 2 from Uncon Flooded Frogs. In game 3, Vico, Veno and Flixi landed Outlaw Oasis split again. They snuck into Crime City and stole all the vault, all the gold, and then went to Black Market. They avoided Teeny and Tayson's team in Crime City, got the vault and dipped. Very cheeky, and they managed to get a ton of loot out of it. Savage, Vidil and Reason did not fight off spawn this time. They decided to dip off early. Cami and Seti and Kari were on height again at the start. 2 out of the first 3 games, Cami and Seti and Kari were on the height at the start of endgame. Swizzy had a great clutch this game, bringing in a lot of points for Queasy's trio, and Cami killed Wox to win the game. They had Uncon brutal box cart still. This is what happens when we have Cami Uncon in these big tournaments. He kind of struggles when he's contested, but when he's uncontested they have the game plan they need to take out the wins, and it's completely obvious from what we're seeing so far. In game 4, Savage was Uncon. Clearly he managed to get Noms' team off the drop, and we had Savage Uncon for the first time I think I've ever seen him Uncon in the grand finals game. Vico, Veno and Flixi conned Pump Powers. It was really unlucky for Vico, Veno and Flixi though, because Twi's team, Twi, Avahalo and Noms that were calling Mr. Savage that left the drop that game ended up landing near Pump Powers. So Pump Powers was triple contested with Pix, Dharm and Demus, Avahalo, Twi and Noms and Vico, Veno and Flixi. Everyone on the team but Vico died, and then he rebooted right up north. This game was a game and a half. We came in on Queasy when he was 6 below Surge, Mustache was knocked, they were on low ground and they were getting lobby focused. We cut away, 1 minute later they're on the high ground with max health. Queasy might be one of the best IGLs in the world. It's not a hard statement to make, but he 100% is the greatest IGL of all time. Although Queasy ended up getting double conned on height, and then the 2 teams ended up fighting out. Vico ended up coming up later into the game and taking it. They won the game. Out of triple conned Pump Powers, out of double rebooting, pretty late into the second zone. What a game. This game was pure cinema, I tell you what. In game 5 we had the cheekiest play ever from Vico, Veno and Flixi. They conned Cami's mountain off box carts. They stole half his loot, they went to Seaport, and they killed Swizzy after he went into the vault. And then Veno absolutely destroyed Mustache and left Queasy as a solo. Cami ended up going down soon later as well because he had half his loot taken by Vico, Veno and Flixi. Veno is making 0 friends this grand finals and I'm here for it. In game 5 we have another dojo zone, right over dojo. 0 south zones on day 1, all of them went above Seaport on the right side of the map, which is actually crazy zone RNG, especially for those south teams. Cringe Volko and Kiddo start on height this game, and Thomas HD hit a little 3v1, my goat, Then Nebs, Pink, and Kiro took height, and we finally had a Vox, Ping, and Malibuca game win. They were landing Uncon, Lone Wolf, Flare, and it's really weird I haven't mentioned them yet because they have actually been performing incredibly well so far in the tournament, coming top 5 literally every game but one. They had a little joke on the broadcast saying Mini Hater is the biggest motivator, all because Mini Miner didn't put Malibuca in his top 3 predictions. It's got a nice ring to it though. In the final game of day 1, we had Vico, Veno, and Flixie land Flooded Frogs. They went down instantly, and Taco actually mentioned the Bermuda Triangle that's been a bit of a meme over the last couple seasons. This is when the Fields and Seaport area Surge Towers form a nice little triangle, and in this lobby it was Thomas HD's team, Queasy's team at Seaport, and then Pablo Wingu's team as well. And they formed a beautiful little triangle that there was a lot of Surge being hit in that triangle. This was the most stacked game so far. Vaniac, Pixie, and Marius were on height. They each took a different layer to make it harder to take, and this worked because even the GOAT Queasy cannot take height off them. He tried, he eventually went down, and Vaniac, Pixie, and Marius win the game with 14 kills out of Flooded Frogs. Because remember, Vico, Veno, and Flixie landed Flooded Frogs earlier in that game. Honestly, I've never seen such a good EU Grands day 1. It was incredible. This is our EU leaderboard after day 1. We have Ping, Vox, and Malibuca winning that one game and being top of the leaderboard by a good 120 points. Look at this match history. 7th, 2nd, 2nd, 4th, 1st, 8th. Average place of 4th in Grand Finals. This team really shows up when it matters. We then have Vanya, Pixie, and Marius coming in 2nd from Flooded Frogs for the most part, apart from that last game, which they ended up winning with 14 kills, so it might be good it was conned. We have Tino, Pablo Wingo, and Fredoxy in 3rd. They have Master Meadows. It's a super good drop. They've just been playing consistent. Some very top placements here. I know I didn't mention them in my recap, but that's because they're just playing their mid ground, they're playing the low ground, they're getting those top placements. In the top 4, we have Swizzy, Mustache, and Queasy. Now, this team has played so well. They had that one really big dud game where Veno camped their vault, 27th, but apart from that, they played very consistent, winning out game 1 with 12 kills. In 5th, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Thomas HD, in that LAN qualified spot after day 1. Thomas HD has done the most damage by a country mile. He's got the drum gun. He's literally lighting up the entire lobby. They haven't won a game, but they have done incredible, getting some super consistent placements, average placement of 7th. And as I said, Thomas HG's got more damage with this drum gun than any other player combined. And then we'll go over the rest of the top 10 quickly. We have the main entertainers of today, Vico, Veno, and Flixie, landing a new drop every single game apart from one. They had some good games, but they also had an 18 kill win and a 11 kill sick. So, you know, it's alright, isn't it? It's alright for some. We then have Pink, Nebs, and Kiro in 7th, Seti, Guhari, and Kami in 8th, iDrop, Sky, and Scroll in 9th, who were first in after game 2, I think, or game 3. And then we have Dinas, Grass, and Franak in the 10th position, closely followed by Tayson and Karama in 11th and 12th. Not a bad leaderboard. I'm very excited. I think Pingvox, Malibuca, unless they have a struggle day, they should be able to take this out. But it all depends on who gets these top 5 LAN qualified spots in EU. I'm praying for Thomas HD, to be honest. We need Thomas HD to make LAN. My goat. For anyone interested, Savage, Vadil are in 18th. They're not a massive jump up to the top 10, but they definitely could make it in day 2, especially being unconned hopefully tomorrow. Thanks for watching this day 1 EU Grands recap. You can watch this one on the screen if you're bored and NA hasn't happened yet. NA will be out a couple hours after NA finishes, so make sure you go check out that if it is a good 10-12 hours after this one has been published. Check below. I'll see you there. Have a great one.